We're the Mottes.
We have 11 children, ages 22 to 6 months.
I would love to have one more kid.
Tithing to TLC, Big City, Big Family Recap. The Mottes are a family vlogger channel that is on TikTok, YouTube, and you got all the things, right? And they recently got a show via TLC, and I'll tell you what, TLC did not do these people any favors. About a year ago, from the date of filming, this family moves themselves to New York City because one of their kids gets into Juilliard, and they talk about how this was a big family fun adventure that they all wanted to take together until you ask the kid.
I think she loves the fact that the whole family came along.
I need a way to start this. Sometimes I get bothered by the fact that they've followed me up to New York. I wanted to be here by myself like everyone else. I want to spread my wings a bit, and I think I need the space to be able to do that.
Pearl, the one who was speaking, got a full ride to Juilliard, dorm, meal plans, all of that stuff. And she kind of wanted to spread her wings to go out and do this. Plus, the parents couldn't really afford to move with them. They moved under the assumption and the agreement that the kids would busk 5 to 6 days a week so that they could continue to pay for things, because the father, although he does have a job, I was a little wrong about that in the last one, his salary, his entire salary, goes to paying half of the $12,000 a month rent that they have in their brownstone. Plus, they had some strange things to say about the neighborhood that they moved into.
Okay, let's face it. We're a G-rated family living in an R-rated town.
That you moved to.
People are a little loose with their morals.
Hedonistic. We're not okay with that.
We don't want bad influences in our kids' lives that are going to draw them away from the family, from...
God. So even though we have 3 adults in the house, that's why I'm keeping them close. I don't want them out there doing that stuff.
So they moved to Harlem, right? They moved to somebody else's neighborhood and start labeling them with certain things. And then later on, they're like, oh, everybody's been so nice and so helpful. Was that in between the hedonism? And I'll say this with my whole chest, watching that show, those are some good kids. They got good little heads on their shoulders. I don't think that's necessarily fair. And I think it probably has a lot to do with, it is hard. You know, my kid's turning 18 next week to release that parental control, but you can't afford to be there anyway. Then they start going even deeper into the city and how it's very, very expensive. It's not built for big families. They even show a scene where they're like losing one of the kids because they've got so many. They're trying to get on the subway. They're going into bodegas. And I know the time that I have been in New York, if I was out with more than 2 people, it felt crowded. I can't imagine. So once they got there and they realized that they've tapped out all of their savings and that they really can't afford to live where they're living, they sit down with the kids and say, you know, basically, y'all are going to have to busk or we're not going to make it.
So our understanding with the kids is that 10% of whatever comes in belongs to them, and they split it amongst themselves.
It's a good way to learn how to deal with money.
So let's first start by asking ourselves what kind of profit share that is when you have 11 children and they get 10%. You get less than 1% profit sharing, right? I know I did not. Still not a scientist though. And later in the episode, they say that one day they only made $85 and they're going to have to add another busking day. They're going to have to busk 6 days a week. And that day, if they made $85 and then they take out the 10% and then you look at, that leaves exactly 77 cents for each of the 11 children. You can't even 10, 10, 220 for that. Like what? That's not really going to teach them how to manage money other than to count coins. 10, 10, 220. It was $1 though, in case you didn't know that. And they have one son. He's got a girlfriend. He wants to move out. They've got the one daughter that's wanting to move on. They're looking for jobs, but it's hard to look for a job when your family's forcing you to work 6 days a week. What are you going to do? Tell the future employer, well, I want to work here, but I can only work on Sundays. So obviously this huge family, all these kids are playing instruments. That's how the Duggars got in. That's how a lot of these families get in, right? Because they are coming from the same background of the Duggars, but did openly say that they are in the process of deconstruction. And I give credit where credit is due. That is a really big deal. And that is a hard group to come out of, let me tell you. But once they started blowing up on social media, because it is a sight to see, what the parents said they weren't prepared for were people's reactions.
The main criticism we get online is that people think we force our children to play music. We don't.
Coercion also holds a certain level of force, like you don't have to do this. No, it's fine. It's just mommy and daddy will lose their house and we won't be able to feed your siblings. And do you want that to happen to us? I mean, we did move out here for you, even though you didn't want us to, but this is all for you. And look at this. And would you leave us like that? Not that I have any experience with that type of parent or anything, you know. The group they're coming from are the independent fundamentalist Baptists, right? But people are like, well, that's not what the Duggars were part of. They were Quiverful. So there's a lot of things that go into this. You've got IBLP, you've got Quiverful, you've got so many little branch off groups or whatever. But like the umbrella at the top, you could kind of think of the IFB as that. Their umbrella of protection, as it were. If you've been here a long time, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, you have no idea what I just said. That's fine. It's fine. But then they start talking about how the kids got playing the instruments in the first place.
The inspiration for all of the kids playing started with me. I was 23. I was learning to play the violin, and Josiah saw me playing, and he was just wanted to touch that violin. He was actually only 18 months old.
It was like instant magnetism.
Yeah.
And then as the other kids came along, it was like, let's do the same thing.
I like how it works in our family. Our parents choose our instruments when we're babies. They do end up liking it, though.
So we were going okay. We didn't force them. This is how it started, whatever. But did you catch that little part at the end?
They do end up liking it, though.
It's not even that deep. They do end up liking it. You can obviously extrapolate from that statement that there was a time where they didn't. Not to mention, they never actually have the autonomy to choose what they would like to play. And in future parts we're going to get to, if they play at all once they get married. They go a little further into it, and it's another one of those, and I saw a lot of your comments, is that they're doing a TV show. However, there is no TV allowed in their home, these sorts of things. Very, very Duggar-esque, and they came from the same group, so that makes a ton of sense. It's giving Bernadette Hogan, like, you marched me to the top of the world, showed me everything, and then marched me back down and told me exactly what I was not allowed to have, and you just wanted to show it to me. And I know I have to say this, it's cool if you want to have a million babies. It's cool if you want to be a career person, whatever. But the coolest part of that is that you should get to choose all of those things for your life yourself. That being said, that's it for part 1. I will see you for part 2, probably tomorrow morning somewhere in there. But anyway, I hope you have a good day.